Hey, Tony guys here. Wanted to pop in and talk to you. One of you sent me a DM, and it was a post from a Instagram page, and the young lady was saying that she dated a guy for 2 years and didn't sleep with him. And in all the comments, all the comments was just a lot of craziness, a lot of insanity, a lot of disgustingness. And it's just sad. It's real sad, the society we live in. It's sad how lost we are. It's sad how confused. For me, it's draining, and I can't judge because I was there. I was there. I was in that same mindset. Ironically, it took me being married to learn just how little sex means. Because when me and my wife, before we had kids, you young, you could, go and do whatever you want to do. When you have kids, it's about them. It's their schedule, it's their life. Everything is about them. They come first. And so that means as a parent, a lot of times you up late, you tired, you ripping and running, you're doing a lot of driving, hours of the day you're driving. And so you just don't feel like no little jackrabbit. And you could go a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, depending on just health circumstances. Like if my wife catches a bug from one of my sons, meaning she gets sick, her immune system, it turns into like bronchitis, and she'll be sick for at least 2 weeks, sometimes 4 weeks straight. She'll be sick. And she could come over something, and then the other son catches a little bug from school, and then it gets her sick again because she's with them in the car, you know, 1, 2 hours a day. And then helping them do homework, another 2 hours a day. And so when my wife is sick like that, I'm not finna try to do all of that. I'm gonna let her heal, helping her heal. And then circumstances and things happen in life. One time she hurt her tailbone. She's working out, and she ended up having to get surgery. They was doing some intense workouts. They were, competing, and she had to get surgery. And when she got that surgery, I think she was out for 12 weeks. It was like 12 weeks that she was down because, they had to cut into her back. And so going those 12 weeks, but living with someone, seeing someone every single day, talking to someone, being around someone that you love, that you're attracted to, that's when I learned how little sex means. And our society, we're so perverted, we're so nasty, that we give so much power to something so meaningless. We give so much power to something that does not add any time to our life, that does not make us any better, any smarter, any healthier. And we give so much control to our life, to sex, to the point that people are committing crimes for it. People are going to prison for it. People are being hurt for it. People are changing their life for it. To the fact that we have sexually transmitted diseases. If it was meant to be so pure, if it was meant to be so amazing, then why would God allow something like a transmittable disease? It's to let you know that when this is done out of bounds, when all of this bacteria is mixed, when you're mixing with this person and that person, or you just mixing with this person, but you don't know what this person who puts so much stock into sex like you don't know what they're mixing with. You don't know what they're doing. And then you receive something in your body. We got to understand that it's not that serious. You have to take control over your life. You got to love yourself enough to set standards for your life. And you got to be okay losing people. You got to be okay with somebody leaving you. You got to be okay with somebody cheating on you and you catching them and you leaving them. You got to be okay with that. Like, set a standard and think about it logically. If you're okay sleeping with somebody that you barely know, if you haven't been with this person a whole year, talking to them every single day, you do not know this person. So if you sleep with somebody inside of a year, you're taking a very, very great risk. You're taking a great risk, and it's a great possibility that you're either going to have a child or you're going to catch a disease. And at the least, you're going to form an unhealthy emotional bond to this person that's going to have you feeling like a slave or a prisoner, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And so understand that this is an addiction. That when you lie down, when you have that release that you give yourself or that somebody else gives you, your brain is doing a chemical dump into your body. And your brain is dumping a feel good emotion. It's dumping something into your body, into your bloodstream. Give me 1 second. And you come to a point to where you become addicted to that. And you get there and you start and you like the way that feels. And so you have to understand, the science of it. In that moment, you forget that you're failing in life when you have that release. And when I say failing in life, I mean based on your standards. Cut my computer off. You forget that you're not happy on your job. You forget that you were violated at a young age. You forget about your ex. You forget about the breakup you went through. You forget about your dreams that haven't come true. When you have that chemical dump from your brain into your bloodstream, that oxytocin or whatever it is that the scientists say, they don't really know because they're not inside the brain. They ain't got the chemical out and tested it, if it's dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin. So whatever it is that make you feel, you feel good, you feel relaxed. In that moment, you forget about all your problems. You forget about all your worries. So all you just did is you just got high. And you see that as better than doing cocaine. You see that as better than smoking weed. Somebody smoke weed too. You see that as better than playing a video game, better than going on a 3-mile run or a 2-mile walk or riding a bike. And you see it as more pleasurable. So you form an addiction to it. And now it has a hold on you. So every time you want to feel loved, or you want to feel special, or you want to feel warm and cozy, or you want to get high, you get that release, that sexual release. And then now your brain gets used to it. So you have to think about this logically. If your brain, which is highly repetitive, which is easy to train, easy to program, just like if I got this Starbucks cup in front of me, I went 3 or 4 days without having a Starbucks, and I was having like a little mild little headache, like a real light little headache. And what it was, my brain was hurting because my head was hurting because it didn't get that release from the caffeine. It didn't get that. Caffeine headaches are real. Anything that your brain is used to, it has a release into your bloodstream. So if you watch TV an hour a day, if you go 3 days without watching TV, you're going to get a headache. You're going to get fidgety. If you play a video game every day, if you go days without playing that video game, you're going to get fidgety. You're going to get a headache. You're going to have withdrawals. Anything that you do every day, if you drink water every day and you go a day without water, you're going to get a headache. If you drink caffeine, if you drink soda, if you eat carbs, if you go without carbs for a day, you're going to get a headache. Your brain is trained. You teach your brain what and how to respond. So that is what's happening that people don't understand on that level, is that this is now an addiction you have, and it's not serving you. It's not making you a better person. It's not adding days to your life. It's not making you any smarter. But what it's doing is it's putting you at risk, especially if you're not married. It's putting you at risk of bringing a child into the world that you're not going to be a team to raise because you don't have a real connection. And it's also putting you at risk of catching a disease that you cannot get rid of. And it's also putting you in harm's way because there could be a love triangle. There could be souls tied up. There could be a lot of emotions. And so the person you're sleeping with, if they're sleeping with somebody else, you don't know where that other person is mentally and what that person will do to you to get you out of their partner's life. See, we take sex and we just make it so normal, and we try to make it so simple, and we try to make it so this and that, but this serious. Sex serious. It ain't nothing casual about this. And we got to grow up. Got to grow up and we got to learn that this real. This real, this serious. You got to stop playing with it before it take you out. So understand. Get your life together. Stop trying to fit in. Stop trying to be cool. Get a hold of the addiction. Get a hold of the childhood trauma. Get a hold of what is making you so horny and crazed to risk your life, to get into bed with someone that is not your husband or your wife. Like, get control of your life. And if you can get control of your life, then guess what? You can realize your goals. You can live your dreams. You can reach the heights that you have in your mind. But if you don't have enough discipline to be abstinent, if you don't have enough discipline to not be horny and sex crazed, then you're not going to reach your full potential. You're not going to live life to the fullest. And so you got to understand that sex means nothing, in the sense of it's not the end all be all. Like, it's not going to change your life for the better. Like, it's a feeling. It's an expression. It's something you're doing that can be utilized to reproduce and or to strengthen the connection with your spouse. Not your boyfriend, not your girlfriend, your spouse, your husband or your wife that is your lifetime partner that you're going to live with. That's where it's beneficial. Outside of that, it has absolutely no benefit. It has absolutely no benefit other than tying you spiritually, emotionally, and or physically to someone that you're not committed to for life. And then you have to start all over and do it all over again. And the next thing you know, you are emotionally tied to tens of people or hundreds of people. Really hundreds of people, because when you sleep with somebody, you also sleeping with everybody they have slept with. So all the bacteria that have gone into their body, that's still in their body, brewing and festering and mutating, is now coming into your body. So you have to understand, this ain't something to play with. And stop trying to be cool. That's lame. That's lame. Trying to act like sex is everything and you got to do it and you got to have that and that is lame. That's just the lamest, dumbest thing in the world. Like, we got to do better. We have got to do better. Hey, this is Tony Gaskins. I'm going to start teaching for an hour on certain things, but this right here, it got to be short because I need people to be able to get this. So listen, get control of your life. Grow up. Break the addiction. Learn where you're really operating from and why. And get in front of it. It's Tony Gaskins. God bless you. We'll talk soon.